and a commanded blessing from above. Listen, no amount of offerings and a command said to be from above. He was our brother. He was a black man. He was an African.
White man.
No. Bible is not a religious book. It's a history of Africa.
Bible is what? History of Africa.
Exactly. Africa's history is what our brothers took, changed the message, changed the names, gave a picture. Because Bible is allegory and metaphoric. And yet direct book. Yet they spoke ancient language.
Yeah,
Papa, they one casa plain that.
The science, the
Christo, one casa plain that. Yes. Oba for you with 7 envelopes every Sunday. She was sleeping in an uncompleted building.
7 envelopes.
None of the church members ever came to visit her, including the pastor.
7 envelopes, how?
Or say a children say, it was a Diamia count Bible maybe a audition. Inti so be man a diane po no calculate diane no ne bo na ngokoto ye sen no wetua ho tight no de ahye ntade ho tight no de ahye we are for the no inti envelopes 7 different okwa na ye boje na so ne ye de ni twa sorry no po
na so order
uncompleted building. None of the church members know where she is even living. Baby or didn't to crowd be any. This is how you program a man. Yeah boje o so na afese we papa. Near crocodile, near Joseph, say, and now the Yamia no amount of offering and a commanded blessing from above. Listen, no amount of offering and a Bema command say be from above. Emra, and metal
offering. No,
what the amateur idea of Matthew chapter 6. You can't say me, I see, she was Japadia was so. The more you give, not yet you see a dime was so at the mouth. When you keep telling somebody, say, you have to go to Sro, and that Sro is a location somewhere, and that Sro no obewu and son of a cosa Sro, and also ordinary entire life in your prepare Sro because I had it. There's nothing she can take from here. You begin to make the person think, say, baby, you're calling her Hiano, pa, entino. I was so didn't be your investments got to a but one children no creno. You are killing the person.
Wow.
This is not the truth. Daddy, please read it for us.
Matthew chapter 6.
Verse 19. Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth.
Do not store
up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moth and rust destroy, and where thieves break in and steal. Verse 20. But store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where moth and rust do not destroy, and where thieves do not break in and steal. 21. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also.
There is no connection between this scripture.
Mon shishemo japade asase so. Fa ko anoteboa ene na chen say no na ebifo bebu akowia 20. Na mon shishemo japade wo soro. Fa ko a noteboa ne na chen say no ne ewiase emu kwasea. Emu ankose that is the word 21. Wow.
Enti we ni aka kire say si we japade o so. Oti ase. E ho na oba for ni bibia na ye de bibia ma wo so.
Is you check for it but now watch me ho na say what.
And enti usu dai so wo heaven. Wo be ko na yesi udan fefefe.
To so dai hunu.
Oh yes, wo be hu.
Why?
And our forefathers, they operated with the cognitive light and the intuitive light. Enti abra na Israel for I feel so omunko na monsaka Christo no. Now we had him.
Now you will be.
We had Christ.
But and yet the born as in your Bible no na wo kan no wase.
Now you were Christo. Before the one that came on the cross. I want to explain this now. Obi otie in pacho. Tiniye not with a religious mind. Free your mind. Bible is our history. Obi obeka say broni fa Bible. And the Bible about dada Bible too. It was never in the first place the history of the Bible.
Bible.
History. Nananum kodi. Church will be walls. Some were written on scrolls, some were written on tablets. And when they saw our history, and you can say history, I'll tell you the genealogy of history.
Give it to me.
History is the message of God. God's original name from beginning is is. So his story is what he gave to Africa when he created us first. And out of us, he printed his story. So our fathers called men deities, gods. So when you go to Psalm, he said, ye are gods
tie janom no sansa no mudi ne nhye so no ofra omo se nyame nkuma.
No, because that was the agenda of God.
Se
To create gods. So we had Christ. They took our history, and the history was tempered with, because language has to change for everybody to understand. The content and the meaning of that language, once you change it and you don't understand, you've changed the message.
Oh.
The entire message has changed.
Okay.
Let me give you an example.
Give it to me.
In the book of Genesis, we are told God created heaven and the earth, and the earth was void. It was empty. It was dark. And the Spirit of God was hovering on the surface of the earth. What is that? Because right from the first statement, he said, in the beginning, God created heaven and earth. So why the earth now? Dark, void, and construction is taking over. Now go back to mother's womb. When you are in your mother's womb, the earth was covered with water. You are completely covered with water. And the Spirit of God was moving on the surface of the deep. There is something that covers you. It's like a dome. That is how people describe the earth. It's a dome. It's a stack. It covers you so that nothing outside can harm you or nothing inside can come out.
Okay. So that is creation.
That is creation.
So the creation is not the Adam and Eve we've been listening to.
It's not just earth, something coming. God is telling you something deeper than just what you are seeing physically.
Right.
And we will get, do I need any? You understand? So
it's not conscience. Let's just say blame you.
It's guilt.
Okay.
That one is religion. It produces at the end. Guilt.
Okay.
Because God didn't tell you sin. Someone told you sin. So I went forward and I told them.
Can't say and say I want it.
Without law, there is no sin. One shemra bonini ho. Mema example, no be otifi on TV. So one me yanya ware for one me da eden fornication. So who bet to shame so me dem eden rape. Who are me now me da eden. Is it not the same action? Who gave it different names?
No, or say when the man is for person just say the same act.
Same action
different depending on where you stand.
It's baby a would no. Any day ya catch no and the bema would be busa at the end of
ya catch us say who force nipa na rape any actual 23 mono and your area can rape.
But say ha ono yere da na force no in Africa it's not rape. But in Europe it's rape. Enti obimra any obimra nhia. So laws are not universal to God. Laws are human bound. We create the laws. We create sin where there is no sin. Because without law, there is no sin. We had a toll booth toll as one of the laws coded in our constitution.
You must pay.
And the president passed a law and said, I have abolished the toll fee. So drive through. Yes.
The same thing you do that police will even chase you and arrest you. Now you do it in peace.
So you are getting it now. So when the man says it is sin, you accept it is sin because you are programmed to be a servant to that religion.
The okay KD. Let's when you feel Assemblies of Evidence Jehovah Witness Muno. You and I want to ask you the question.
Yes. Me koye no muno. Me tibiano ye west because I was drinking. Yeah, I was drinking.
Why?
You see, when you give a man religion, you give him a dress to cover his attitude, his nature and character.
So the thing is hidden behind inside.
We are confronted that. But ye be catch you say sakra, ye catch you say wo sakra. Na ye sunje. Nti kwan bi e wo say wo fa so sakra no. Wo be fa so sakra. Nti say wo be ye mo bi ehun say wa sakra na enso mu no. Na wo nya, you do it because everybody is expecting you to put on a new gown. So that is why I'm not disrespecting anybody. Someone can be a pastor, a singer, an usher, a prayer warrior, but will be fornicating and you cannot stop.
We need to work on that.
Your character, anointing can never take away your character. No matter how anointed you are.
Anointing can never take away your character.
Your character is the first thing that demonstrates the kind of tree that is in you. That is the two trees in the Garden of Eden. There is one tree that brings life. When you start bearing the fruit of that tree, your words, your deeds, and your thoughts. Best man that ever wrote anything was Adam. But in this book, you never see anything that is linked to Adam that he wrote. Because a lot of the Bible has been taken out. A lot of the history has been taken out. Some are even under work now that people are trying to change the meaning of them.
Some of them said on the Bible and say this was the book that were hidden.
That is it.
The Apocryphas and
the best book that can ever exist where you can read the truth is within you.
So it's not the Bible.
It's not the Bible, it's just a guide. Our fathers wrote it to guide us so that we will understand what is happening within us.
Explaining what is within is the Bible.
Exactly. So from the beginning, God created everything.
Now, after reading, I need a certain spirit within to explain for me to understand. Is it not confusing?
To a religious man, it will be confusing. Do you know why?
Doctor.
Because before our fathers had our brothers, our white brothers come in to start enslaving us, we had all our resources under our control.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? When they came, they took some things from us. We were helpless. When our fathers realized it, they told their sons that you have to go back and take whatever they have taken back from you. That word became a spirit of hypnotism. We were hypnotized
By our own father.
by that word, because the word didn't come out of love, it came out of rage, anger. So when we took it, we started robbing till it blinded us, and we robbed each other. Anything I would be
So we,
you
you see, we have forgotten that we have forgotten.
yes.
You read few people see
It's a real big say. The thing that gender was not us, but we have forgotten everything. So we rob each other. We rob each other. So when you pick a president for the nation, Mani Bibia, he can never do anything for the nation. Do you know why? We are still hypnotized. We need the awakening call.
The understanding of go for the thing has now become rob yourself.
Yes.
You don't know where to go.
No, we don't know. So we are hypnotized. You're robbing from each other. Until you be better to sorry, Mukra, he will rob the people. If you choose a priest, he will rob. Choose an angel, he will rob. Because we are still living in a certain programming, and this programming is intensive. Being scientists, sometimes they miss the line, and we must accept it. Let me give you a typical example. When you go to our schools, majority from primary school to some universities even have a globe that they used to even teach in the schools, primary school JSS, a globe.
Yes.
You know, we know it.
Yeah,
When globe was invented, you invented globe, no? What the globe is for decorative purpose, not for educational purpose. Hope I go online right now.
Globe na teacher ya dey school no.
Because women have a different idea from the truth.
So what's the truth?
The earth is not the globe. So what man believe say?
So map na you no.
Even your own map, I say Ghana, I say Africa, that map no, is wrong by the teacher school. If you like, go online and check it for yourself. The true dimensions and the areas that Africa occupy is not what you learn in the university. Not even in the university.
Is it smaller or bigger than that?
Way bigger than that. Way bigger. Even our map, the world map itself, Africa could even be at the north.
To the time of
Because the way the firmament was laid as a dome, we will see the Amodisha Adrian, Sunny City, and the cover to say. He said, "Oh, you are in between the water and the water." In Genesis 1, or see, not assassin, and you assassin, and so he commanded and divided into you. No status or shifting into you. And they down there. Exactly, that was what you were created of. So we assassin. Everything here.
So it's not that story, no.
You were rem. It's rem, no. Baby, or the Adam Fia see a project now. You might be with symbolism. It's weird. Lands, also the land city. Why is it that you breathe out carbon dioxide? The tree receives carbon dioxide, gives you oxygen. You take in oxygen. You give the tree, and your lungs no.
So your lungs need to almost change. They communicate.
They communicate with the physical area. And until your boy, you're physical. Please, let's go to Romans chapter 1. Let's read something in verse 19 and 20.
But open the Bible yourself, wherever you find yourself, as you're reading together. See, we did Romans chapter number. But Romans chapter.
Romans 1, 19 and 20.
Okay.
Emphasis no 20.
Romans chapter number. That became mine. But that's why I keep on repeating it. Romans, but New Testament. But you're and the Bible, are you ready? Okay, you go.
Romans chapter 1, verse 20. Okay. Say, for since the creation of the world, God's invisible qualities, his eternal power, and his divine nature have been clearly seen, being understood from what he has made, so that men are without excuse.
See, if he had the bone in fit as when you go su, said you sit here, Ninano, or the share about you, and we try and she said, Yabaya, when you pay the anchor say, media, minimum.
I think that producer, there was a globe bulbs are generally used for decorative purposes, such as large light fittings or features where the bulb is visible or exposed. So it's not for anything.
It's not for educational purpose, just for decoration. This is how you can program a man, is by advertisement. Program you and so we use toothpaste. We use toothpaste. Our fathers used sokoduya. Sorry, near the Bobby man, I will book brother. If you're not your Bobby, no, any other catch say, and no, yet. And you know, your mind will be containing fluoride. Eh, now, which you see, fine. And the advert kept coming. Your program, advert kept coming. And you saw advertising. Yes, that is here. What shop is now? One that's how you saw if you know, coffee, Utinia, coffee, Nasha, Yatra say, and says, will be away below 16 years. A baby business. Now, say, in case we use now, meaning are called the poison control unit. Meaning, say, what you are consuming is killing you gradually. This is how you program a man. You give him something beautiful, but beneath it, it is poison. And no tina, yea, Yanko Dauma. You who know Cranibino. Nanka was here bar, you think credit. But greediness, it's in a character. Greediness, the person you can't credit. We would rather make you a slave so that you come to us for the little information you need to be free at the time, like cocaine. So when you are high, you need it. We will pray for you until God has done it. We perform a small miracle for you, and then we take your money, and you depend on us the rest of your life, and you remain in poverty.
Wow.
I want you to read this letter.
Wow. So idea back where anybody needs chat say. So people so far again, or cancel over and over and over. Now settle.
Sir?
As I was thinking this morning, in your subconscious anymore, we are dying. We be crackers and yas for some Wow. Also, toothpaste contains fluoride, which can be poisonous if enough is swallowed. Often this requires ingesting more than few mouthfuls. Fluoride in toothpaste usually comes in 1 or 3 forms: sodium fluoride, sodium monophosphates, and another stannous fluoride. These types may not carry poison.
One thing that is more dangerous is your brain. It weakens your ability to think deeply, to receive messages. Yes, sunflower.
This is why people are even afraid of the truth, because these huge advertising companies, these multinational companies, will chase you because you are breaking their roof.
Until we unite,
I was said the black man must
we
come
have to
together.
unite.
Okay.
Because
And then
we have what it takes.
people finding the truth, they all jump to charcoal.
Yes. Don't you see they are turning the fluoride into charcoal paste? Yeah. You see? This is how you program a man. You give him something over and over and over and over for nothing. And he becomes used to it. He becomes used to it and he cannot go out. Why addicted? So I have a lady that contacts